I'm dealing with a disease called retinitis pigmentosa. It's a disease of the eyes. I don't really talk much about it. This is maybe the first time I'm speaking of it. And it leads to blindness. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But I'm just like my brother, I'm all positive and strong and everything like that. What it is, it's like a disease that, like, I have no peripheral. I got to turn this way in order to see. Like, I can't see Sway. I can't see Kelly. I can't see over there. So, and what it does is like a tunnel vision, and eventually, then you have no sight. When I'm dealing with retinitis pigmentosa, which is, of course, is a eye disease that leads to blindness, which I don't own up to at all, you know, but that's what the medical doctors say. But I also use the alternative doctors who keeps hope alive, you know, so I'm just going to be stopping the progression of the eyesight from getting until it's closed. I'm going to push for that, but I have the support of my family and my friends, and one of my support people here is my beloved father when it comes to my eyesight and my retinitis pigmentosa, because Dad, you feel I'm going to beat this disease, right?
Yeah.
And what else do you feel I'm going to do to it?
Whatever other sickness you have.
Huh?
Whatever other sickness.
And whatever other sickness I have, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to kick its freaking ass. Well, I love you, Dad.
I love you, son.
And Dad, thank you for all the support.
You're welcome.
And listen, I have retinitis pigmentosa, like I told you before, but there's so many other eye diseases, and Hope with a Vision is here to help everybody with any vision deficiency, such as uveitis, floaters, color vision deficiency, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, of course, diabetic macular edema. And a lot of these eye diseases can also come because of diabetes.
In diabetes, there's a constant progression of damage to the blood vessels, the little arteries and veins in your eye, if the sugar is maintained at a high level. And because of this, there's gradual damage to the retina, and as that happens, there's gradual decline in vision. Sometimes the decline may be very rapid, sometimes the decline is very gradual, so the patient doesn't even notice that their vision is getting poorer and poorer.
I have a friend, he goes by the name of David Moore. Actually, he's a new friend. David Moore lost his vision, and the crazy thing about it is that with his disease, with his eye disease, it was gradually being lost because of his peripheral. It was the peripheral that he was having problems with. Like with my retinitis pigmentosa, I don't have a peripheral. You know, you start losing the peripheral, of course. He was the same way, okay? He was driving. You know, you could see and everything at this time. He was driving one day, and as he was driving, all of a sudden, his vision was gone. It just snapped, you know, which is crazy. Thank God he was not in a car accident or anything like that. I think he was able to like veer off to the side and just chill and wait for help. But he's a brother that was depressed and down and out. He was the patient of two dear friends of ours, Kimberly and Sean, and they are nurses. It's crazy because the both of them, they suffer from congestive heart failure, yet they both are nurses and caretakers for people with diabetes. David Moore also has diabetes, and he came to their attention, and they was caring for him, and they realized he was very depressed, and they introduced him to Hope with a Vision. The president of my organization, Regina Hall, who've been one of my dearest friends in the world, because she was the one to push me to start thinking about myself and telling me that, Lou, people could pray for you also, because I pray for everybody else and I support everybody else. She was always pushing me for that. So she went to meet with Dave Moore, and she instilled with him some positivity, and then he was slowly getting out of his depressive state. So then I started talking to him, and when I started speaking to him, he started getting even more positive. So right now, he's on the road to positivity. In fact, I want to introduce you to my dear friend David Moore, and you'll hear the voices of Kim and Sean, the two beautiful nurses, and they're twins, by the way. And listen to a little bit of his story, and I'll come right back.
All right, tell us your name.
My name is David Moore.
And how old are you?
I'm 45 years old.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and how you lost your vision.
Well, I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis, which affected my eyesight in the peripherals of my vision. And I lost my sight on I-95 one morning coming from Brandon Stratton College. I was diagnosed by my primary doctor with diabetes at the age of 18 years old. I was connected to case management associates through my primary doctor, Dr. Evelyn Hall Harris. When I was referred, I was kind of skeptic because, you know, I didn't know where I was going and, you know, didn't know the doctors or whatever. But once I got here and they started explaining to me what the procedures were and what they were going to do and what they needed me to do. I mean, you know, they told me that it was a train moving out and they wanted me to get on it. So
tell us about how you were introduced to Hope with a Vision and the good folks there.
Well, I was introduced to Hope with a Vision through case management, Kim and Sean, which it was a blessing to me. I thank God for them. And they introduced me to Bowlegged Lou and Miss Regina Hall, which is another blessing to me because, you know, my attitude was just down about, you know, because of what is going on with me. But they showed me and assured me that I can do if I just take the initiative to you know, just move up, you know, don't just sit and wallow in what's going on.
So tell me a little bit about what Hope with a Vision was able to do for you as far as you know, lining up some resources for you.
Okay, well, they inspired me to go back to the Vision Center for the Blind. You know, I had been there before, but I just, being me and what I was going through, I just gave up because I just didn't think it was working for me. But now that they have stepped in and inspired me to go back, I'm ready. I'm on this train and I'm ready to move out.
I know you were able to talk to Bowlegged Lou, and you were able to have a conversation with him about, you know, his condition and what he's going through. Tell me what that meant to you.
Well, that meant a lot to me because, you know, really I didn't know anybody else that was in this condition that I'm in. But speaking to Bowlegged Lou and him sharing his story with me, I think I was inspiration to him as well as he was to me. And I think that we can help each other. I believe that word in the Bible where it says iron sharpens iron. And, you know, anytime you put sharp iron against sharp iron, it can't do nothing but get sharper. If you're going through this or anything that you're going through, just trust God and let Him be the head of your life, and just know that you can do. You can make it. There's still hope. So don't forget that. Just like they hope with a vision, you know, there's still hope for those who are going through. And don't be afraid to share your story. Tell your story, because it's not all about you. When you're going through, it's not all about you. It's about the person that you're sharing with.
And you know, I'm the type of person that loves to believe, and I always say support, because I like to support other people besides just supporting myself. And I'm talking about anybody. You know, my thing is that I got to always be positive and optimistic and always believe in myself and know that God will pull me through anything. I can never speak about my journey without talking about my beloved brother's journey, because I had my own journey within his journey. My whole family did. And I remember my brother Paul Anthony, of full force, of course, when he was diagnosed with mantle cell lymphoma, a form of cancer. And he was going through it. We were always going through it, but we were all positive, as a family and friends, and we were always there. Me, I remember just being with my brother at a lot of his appointments. I sometimes would call up the doctors, and I would be like his personal secretary. I would have all his appointments in my own book listed, and I used to go with him on a lot of his appointments. Like he always says, he stops counting at 100 needles, where he used to always get needles and stuff like that. I was there for a lot of that. I remember when my brother was truly fighting for his life, and he had to go through a bone marrow stem cell transplant with myself. But I always tell people, if my brother Paul didn't have the fortitude and positivity right from the get-go and the will to live and to keep going, we won't even reach to the transplant. I had to take needle shots filled with Neupogen to harvest the stem cells in my body to prepare for my brother and the transplant. While he was at the hospital with his immune system getting lower and lower, they had to prepare for me for my stem cells. And I would be at home, and I would be taking 2 needles a day, preparing. And then when it was time, the nurses and the doctors, they told me that my brother needed 6 million stem cells. But guess what? Instead of giving my brother 6 million stem cells, I was able to give him 9 million stem cells. And you damn right I'm proud to tell that story. You damn right. And I love it. I was a conduit and a vessel from God to help save my beloved brother. So now I'm wrestling with my own situation. Sometimes I say to myself, man, I wish I had a stem cell somebody in my back pocket. But you know who I have in my back pocket? And in my heart and in my front pocket, I have God. I have God and the will to live, because I'm going to see forever. You know what I mean? I got this. That's right. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to stay strong. And another person that I want to give a shout out to goes by the name of Sean Wright, a very dear friend of ours who's up in heaven right now. He was the first one to tell me, Lou, man, you keep bumping into stuff, I noticed. And he was the one to get me the appointment at the medical doctors, where I met my first doctor, Dr. Bass, who diagnosed me. Sean Wright was basically keeping up with a lot of my appointments, and he would drive me there. So I want to say to Sean Wright that I love him. I also want to give a shout out to Donna Knight. Donna Knight was actually the first person to instill in me that there's another alternative that could probably aid and save me with this retinitis pigmentosa. My dear friend Donna Knight, she was the one that came up with a doctor in West Virginia, Dr. Ott, I think it was, that did acupuncture and things like that, and that was on the road. And my brother Paul Anthony was assisting with that as well at the time. And then all of a sudden, my dear friend Regina Hall really started pushing, because I was a little lazy, because I'm always supporting everybody, but she started pushing, and she was the needle in my haystack that kept pushing and pushing and pushing for me to start doing something for myself. And that's when she found Dr. Rosenfarb, and I began doing treatments with Dr. Rosenfarb, electrolyte treatments with Dr. Rosenfarb, acupuncture with Dr. Rosenfarb. I love Dr. Rosenfarb because Dr. Rosenfarb, he gives me that keep hope alive speech, and he gives people positivity, and he motivates people to do what to do. And I had improvement with him, so I just have to keep going, which I am. I'm being proactive in this, and it's going to be all good. And the great thing about Hope with a Vision and what we're trying to do, it's great to have family and friends and supporters, lots of supporters. That's what we need, supporters. And once again, you go to our site, hopewithavision.org, and that's HOPEWITHAVIZION, Hope with a Vision. Oh, it's right there. What the hell am I repeating it for? It's right there. Anyway, another one of my great friends and supporters goes by the name of Stevie Wonder. You guys might know him. Stevie Wonder once made an album called Inner Visions. That's one of my favorite Stevie Wonder albums, because it's just showing that you will have, no matter what goes wrong in your life or no matter what happens, you will always have inner visions within yourself. And you know who else I want to thank? I want to thank my beloved family for supporting, and I got so many friends also, you know, my beloved mother, my beloved father, you know, my brothers, my kids, my children, my dear friends, and my Hope with a Vision team, President Regina Hall, Vice President Sharman Anderson, Secretary, my beloved cousin Katrina Dawson, who's going through her own health situation, but yet she's there to help out her cousin, Rhonda Lewis. You know, I want to thank those people for being the Hope with a Vision team, and we're going to make a difference. We definitely are. We're going to help others. We're going to get a cure for retinitis pigmentosa, and we're going to get a cure for a lot of those visual sicknesses, okay? So, I just want to tell everybody to stay strong, stay positive. May all the positive and optimistic things in life forever be yours. Hope with a Vision. Everybody out there, stay blessed. May God bless you, and keep looking to the sky. Peace.